Hello and welcome to your over-enthusiastic game guide. I'm SerroDan and this guide will show you how to solo Mogu'Shan Vault's 10-man normal mode and Elegon heroic mode. But why would you want to solo this raid anyway? Well, quite simply, this raid drops one of those rare mounts, and this one is labelled Reigns of the Astral Cloud Serpent, very similar to the boss Elegon model. But before we get to Elegon, there are a few bosses which stand in our way. So we're going to have to take them down before we actually get there. So, the first one, or shall I say ones, are the Stone Guards. The Stone Guards are made up of 3 stone pups, and in turn they pack quite a nasty bite. You're pretty much the postman in this little scenario, so be sure to watch your step. But here there are only really 2 main abilities you have to look out for. The first one is cast from the Amethyst Dog. This is an amethyst pool. Simply just move out the inviting purple mess. It's really not that inviting if it's nibbling at your feet. The next ability is a Cobalt Mine. After a short period it will explode and root you to the floor. These are the big ice crystals you see lying around. Other than that, there are not really any other abilities you'll be able to avoid. Because they're standing so close to each other, they will be egging each other on, causing them to overload, dealing a bit of damage once they're at full energy. But that's really no biggie as long as you've got a few self-heals. The next boss you'll encounter is Feng the Accursed. If you're a caster with a strong pet, there is hardly anything to really look out for when he goes all lightning on us. But if you are on your own, you have to watch out for when he does his lightning fists. Quickly move out of that, otherwise you'll be rooted to the ground. The next is the Epicenter. This is a ticking cast which deals some damage, which is an inconvenience. After that he'll go to the fire side of life. All you have to be aware of is the wildfire. Be sure not to stand in that, otherwise you will end up, well, pretty much what fire does to you in reality. Kinda hot, isn't it? The last phase, all you'll be encountering is a bit of magic, but the only thing that really does any damage here is the Arcane Resonance, which is a ticking dot. But other than all of those, it can be easily DPS down. Next is Gara'jal the Spiritbinder. This boss is reasonably easy, it just slaps you rather hard, and even harder when he gets in a bit of a temper, but he would only get in a temper around about 25% health. Once there, he will enter his frenzy state, where he will attack and hit faster. But this fight just consists of DPS and self-heals. There's really not much to it, nothing you really have to avoid. After, well, we may as well just call that trash, we come to the 4 Spirit Kings. Each one has a small amount of health and different abilities, most of which do nothing in regards to a health though. But throughout the fight, flanks will start charging across the room. Just simply move out of these when you see them coming, so they don't bowl you over. The first you'll come across is Kayang. The only ability here is his Annihilate. Just move out of his cone, or just boss it like I do here. After he's down, you'll meet Sabutai. This guy has a way with a bow, which causes one ability to always hit, Rain of Arrows. This will pin you to the ground, stunning you until the arrow is destroyed by other players. Oh, wait, this is Soloables. Huh, okay. Well, if you have a pet, you're in luck. Just simply set that to kill it off. But if you don't have a pet, you can also place abilities on the ground ready for when this comes in, and then kill it off whilst you're stunned. Just cast your ability before it comes in after his volleys. After that you'll get to the next kings, and they really are no problem at all, just nuke them down. And so finally we're at the boss we are wanting to kill off, Elegon. Now what we can do here before the fight to maximise our drop rate is to set the difficulty to heroic, so rather than your basic 1% drop chance, you can therefore turn it into a very confident 2%. It all counts. So here Elegon is trying to reactivate the engine of Nalak Shah by creating energy charges to energise the Imperial focuses. So throughout the fight, kill off as many charges as you can to keep him in phase, and kill him off as fast as possible. They do however get faster the longer the fight goes on, which will push you into phase 3 eventually, but we'll go over that more in a second. Whilst in heroic mode you'll get an ad which upon death will annihilate everyone with a cast. If this attack causes you to fall below 80% health you'll be stunned, and because this is a soloable, there won't be a friendly healer to help you, so you have to kind of wait until you die, which can take a bit of time. So to avoid this, pop a damage mitigation spell before the cast is complete, that way you won't drop too low. If you are forced into phase 3, quickly leave the platform, otherwise you'll fall straight to your death, and destroy all Imperial focuses around the edge. Avoid any adds which come crashing down, and once you complete that, you'll be able to go back onto Elegon, kill him off and cross your fingers. You can also win this mount from a bonus roll, but the majority of players here know that bonus rolls are a lost cause, and that Blizz think that a couple of gold is sufficient. The coins can be obtained from Commander Lo Ping, who is standing around the temple in Tolong Steps. They are sold in exchange for lesser charms. These are dropped from mobs around Pandaria, and are also rewards from dailies. Well, since we're on a roll, we may as well go through to the last boss. This drops no mount, but perhaps it might drop something of interest to you. So, we come to the Will of the Emperor. To start off with, you do not actually meet the bosses to start off with. You get a few ads, all do something different, some want to slap you, and others just want to give you a nice big hug. But kill them off and avoid the target zones. After 90 seconds, the bosses will show up. The bosses have quite a hard hit, and the fact that there are 2 of them makes it seem as if they hit twice as hard, funnily enough. But they share the same health pool, which does lighten the weight off ever so slightly. Whilst they are up, ads will still be spawning, so be sure to kill them off if you struggle with minimal self-heals, otherwise you'll be overwhelmed with all the damage. The only ability you really have to look out for here is their devastating arcs. This is a combo move where they'll be striking in a direction where they are facing. You're also helped out with nice little sparks of which direction the arc is going to go. As messy as it seems, these can be avoided, but the fact that they're both together makes it a little bit tricky, so try and avoid as many as you possibly can. Getting hit by this reduces your armor, making you so much more weaker to all the damage that is coming. So throughout this fight, remember to kill off those ads and avoid the arcs. You should find yourself cleaning it off eventually. But it doesn't have to be a clean kill. As long as it's down, it's down. Who else is there to judge you? It's a solo ball, remember. Thank you all for watching, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and if you found this guide helpful, be sure to check out other guides listed on this channel. I wish you all the best of luck on your mount drop, but don't get it first time, because that's the pinnacle of cheesiness. But for now, take care.
Harm can come to Pandaria. Turn the machine on. I will lock the door behind you.
Oh, thanks. The last thing we want to do is let a draft in, and not to mention that 2 massive great big things would be hitting me repeatedly. Got to think about that heating bill.